Okay, good afternoon, traders. Welcome to Trade Setup and the live stream for the 24th of November. I hope we're all doing well today. Hope we're having a good day. We're going into a holiday season, I think, a holiday in the US anyway, for Thanksgiving. I think it's closed. I think they're closed for trading tonight. It might be an early close tonight and then tomorrow night they're closed. So there won't be much happening. I'm guessing, well, there's nothing happening in the US, but I think that would lead to a quiet couple of days for us. Even quiet tomorrow, maybe a quiet close today. We'll see how that goes. We'll take a look at, well, to kick us off today, we've got our, just the usual, we've got our website up there, the new website that we've been working on the last a week or two. Our IT guru has been working on that. He's probably listening too, so he might be chuffed to say that. Um, been working on that quite nicely, and we've got what we've got on the front page there. You can see our results. This is for the trade setup app. Just going to get rid of that call. So we've got you can check out our results on there, and you can also get a 5-day free trial of the app. You can download it from the Apple App Store or Google Play. Um, just go on there, search for Trade Setup. I think it's one word, and just download the free app, and then you'll get at least you'll be able to play around with it, have a look, and see some alerts coming through, and see what they show, what we're doing. And then if you just want to check out our recent history, it's got to go back till November last year, I think. So just over a year now of results, and you'll be able to see those on the websites. They're pretty much up there for everyone to see. Yeah, and then we've got our general advice warning. So what we discuss on these live streams, a lot of you already know, but for any newbies coming through, it's just general advice. There's no, we're not taking into account anyone's personal situation. We're not trying to give personal advice on what to do and what not to do. These are ideas and things we're following according to our trade setups and sort of the way our style of trading. So yeah, we'll get into it then. Firstly, what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look at we'll take a look at the markets overall. Just bear with me 1 second. We'll just go through the markets and how they played out last night. Not a lot of action really in the US, and then we're going to kick it off. We're going to discuss today, topic of discussion, stocks to benefit from the electric revolution. So we're mainly looking at cobalt and cobalt plays. All right. So we'll have a bit of a look at that in about 5 or 10 minutes. So bear with us. Let's get into it. Yeah, live, ready to go. Let's get into the markets. Just what happened overnight. We're looking at the ASX 200 here. We can see our key there. It's been pushing up. If we go back to the overall daily chart, I'll just get a daily chart up. You can see recently we've been discussing this 54, well, 53.50, 53.75, these little highs pushed down. You can see the market pushed down and touched on 50.50. Okay, that's pretty much the key level we saw as holding this, or the most recent trend higher. We've been contracting off that, edging lower, made a major lower high just in here at 5,500. During obviously the elections, touched down at 50.50 and then bounced straight back with a good night in the US and a solid day in the ASX the following the elections. Now this is a key level. We're discussing that. A push through there could lead to a good at least a retest of 5,500, which we've done today. I think we've had a highs of 55.03. So it'd be interesting to see how we go the next couple of days. Obviously, like I said, it could be quiet tomorrow and into the close today. Obviously tonight's going to be quiet with not much of a lead from the US and Europe. Well, no lead from the US. This could lead this little thing, this little higher low. It's really not much of a pullback at all, like we discussed. Where I guess a lot of traders were expecting a major pullback at least to go long in that area because these lower highs were in play, but it didn't. It was a really strong move. That can lead to some really good, solid, strong moves higher or lower if you see the reverse situation. So we could end up just have a minor correction of 55 and then pushing up towards 56 and then continuing this longer term trend up. Interesting days though. Let's take a look at the intraday patterns. Just bear with me 1 second here. All right, this is a 30-minute chart. So our key levels coming in today, pretty much 54.60, and that's those highs overnight. They just got topped out at 55.05, which is the daily highs. We were edging into overbought and we're a bit stretched up into that zone. Obviously, did open up quite strong. We've just retraced off those highs at 55.05 or 5,500 last few hours since the open. Now the thing is, we are getting a bit overstretched. Oh, there's just on the half an hourly chart anyway, a bit oversold on the downside. We're holding a higher level above 54.60, so we may just see a bit more contraction. I would expect to see a bit more contraction into the close, and not much again tomorrow, and then we'll start again fresh on Monday and see how that goes. But yeah, it's definitely looking quite good. We've got a key level at 54.05, holding that trend at that current leg up. And at the moment, we're just got another 54.60. So if we break down there, we may just contract a bit lower, build a major base, and then go again. We'll see how that goes the next couple of days. Look at the Aussie dollar heading south. Obviously, it's pretty clear there. We've broken some key levels at 74.45. Prior to that was 75.20 or thereabouts, 75.15. We have just retested where we broke out those major support at 74.45, and now we look like we've just built another lower high. This is the 1 hour chart too, by the way. So if we just drill in on that, yeah, it looks like we've got potential just to keep rolling over. We are a bit stretched from that move lower, so we may consolidate, hold lower highs, and then roll over again and retest at least the lows and even go through. But we'll see how that goes the next couple of days. A lot of strength in US dollar, obviously. And that's pretty much, like I said, a foregone conclusion, really, about rate rise for December. That's pretty much factored in. So I think the interesting times will come is when they do raise rates to see how the US dollar goes and whether it does get buy the room, sell the fact. We'll see. And gold, massive night last night, big sell-off. Well, probably not huge in context of the last $40 sell-off, but $20 is pretty good. That's just taken us straight through the 1200 zone. We're 1185 or thereabouts at the moment. This is a daily chart. So in context to the daily chart, we may be seeing a bit of a washout of the previous lows and that level. You can see at this zone here when it was heading up the first leg up, we tried to go a bit higher, just washed out the highs and then rolled over and washed out these lows, and that was around 12.11 at the time. We got to a few bucks lower. Yeah, about another 10 to 12 bucks lower than that, just washed out that low on the daily chart, held up, consolidated for a little while, and then we took it the next leg up to 1370 or thereabouts. We have been contracting off there, and now we've just, as of last night, just pushed through that support zone. So it'll be interesting to see. We are stretched into there as well, well and truly stretched into that zone. So whether we pop back, build that base again, and then just pop back up and start potentially a new leg up. But at the moment, I think to head south a bit, we probably have to pull back into back above 12, build that lower high again. And if you see that top price action starting to roll over, then we could head we could be heading all the way back down to 1070, 1100 at least. But we'll see how that goes. At the moment, I think on the daily charts for gold, there's a bit more work to do just to paint a clearer picture anyway. All right, any questions on those? We'll just go over some stocks that we're carrying at the moment, and the best one that we've mentioned in an alert probably a few days ago, we've mentioned this in the stream a few times, is NTI. Now, NTI has just popped up the last couple of days. It's up 11% today. It's been up a bit higher than that. Had a high of 52.5, so it's up about 14 or 15% just a little while ago, about an hour ago, half an hour ago even. So that there we've discussed as having great potential, purely a good story behind it. And also it's a new stock to the ASX. So these type of things can, you can see it opened, a bit of profit taking, sold it off a bit down to 22.5, 23. And then we've just been making lower highs from there. We were looking at it, if it pushed through 34.5, it's just back here. We thought it could go on with it. It didn't go on initially, but it has the last few days. It's looking really good. So this stock has got the potential just to really get ahead of steam and just push up high, and you get that accelerated move higher. Okay, so we're really liking that one. It's a shame couldn't get onto it, but as something to watch, it's got a lot of potential there. Also, SAS, we've been looking at, it's gone to a trading halt. Just getting that. That's looking pretty good. If we can hold that sort of 10 zone, I think, and take out, we can get some inside continuation through 11.5. Then that's got a lot more potential, and it's in a trading halt, so we'll just have to see how that news goes. Another couple of others, we are just in GXY, that breakthrough 37.5, expecting that to kick on. We've had a good base. We've touched down at 30 a few times now, broken the lower highs, just built a higher low just in here at 35, 34, and that's, structurally that looks really sound. It looks really nice. So looking for another leg up, potentially up through 52.5 to 55, these previous highs. Let's just take a look quickly, just trying to see something else we've got that's going quite well. We've got CYP. It's backed off a bit from it. We're still up a little bit on that, but that's got the potential just to continue on. You can see this, the weekly's looking good. Monthly coming off a solid base. It's done a lot of work down here around the 25-cent mark, and it's lifting off that that zone there. So yeah, looking good there for continuation higher. We can get back up through 80. I think we can get accelerated move. And the other one we've been, there we go, that's a great one, BPT, Beach Energy. That entry is through 76, just through these highs, had a big wash over the election, built a higher low. So if you sort of discount that move, that popped down and it opened back up the next day and looked good. Then we had a high low build at 75, so we took that through 76, and it's just been creeping up, looking looking strong. The actual that charting pattern is build a major high low around that, say around that 50. So that leg up could take us up towards $1, which would be really nice. That'd be great. And the last one we'll just quickly touch on, CKF through, what is it, 537. Got in a bit late through these highs. It would have been nice just through the $5 mark on that continuation pattern there after higher low. We got in a tad late, but still we're up on that from 537. Just want to take some off around the 580 mark just to put something in the bank there and see if we can get that a bit of a run on that as well. It's looking strong. The only problem is with this, it's starting to get a bit overstretched up here. So NTI, yeah. All right, so we're looking a bit stretched up here, but there's made us a bit of a correction, and then we continue on up. We'll see how that goes. All right, a buy alert on NTI? No, for us, NTI was a little bit at that stage. It was just a little bit thinly traded. Look, structurally looked really good for us. Haven't got a buy alert on that at the moment. We may do down the track, but at the moment we haven't. We were looking just something to look at through 34.5. If we can just continue on and see if that can go on with it, but at the time wasn't do a big volume on that there, Paul. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into our discussion for the day. All right, stocks to benefit from the electric revolution. So what we're viewing on this is obviously it's got to do with batteries, really, and cobalt. Cobalt's the key thing that we're gearing up for, and the reason what we want to talk about, and the potential for cobalt to be the next big thing. We see that as it's got a lot of possibilities. Now, cobalt's used in a lot of things, but it's a new age technology. It's been touted as used in rechargeable batteries for electric cars and super alloys for turbines and motors. So I think the possibilities there, obviously, especially into batteries, and as we can see, Tesla is going quite well, and a lot of potential in batteries for that type of application. Now, the thing about cobalt is that 65% of cobalt comes from Central Africa, which we know in the Congo is a politically unstable region. So I think any sort of supply that can come outside of that area, I think has huge potential. And we're going to look at 3 stocks today that have got mines in Australia. So I think the potential for these ones, just on the back of cobalt and the back of the potential for rechargeable batteries, is really good. It's looking really good. And some of the stocks we'll look at too, charting technically wise, look really nice. There's a really good article on one of the stocks. We'll get that up. Just discuss that. I think there's huge demand out of US and China, especially. They really do need cobalt. So I think they're gearing up for, in 2020, they see the potential for 1 in 6 cars to be electric. All right. Has anyone actually read up on about cobalt or has followed the story a bit? Let's just get that article up here. That's not the one I'm looking at. So if you go to, just get to ASX announcement for the actual stock is CLQ, and they've just had a recent AGM presentation on the 22nd of November. We'll bring up there. That AGM presentation has got a lot of good information about cobalt and the applications. And you can see if you go back to the start, they're saying the changing environment. You can see smog related. There's obviously there's a big push for clean energy and clean, I guess, just clean everything. And they're saying population growth is increasing that much that they have to go down that track. And if you just read through this article, well, not article, but the presentation and the way they lead into it is phenomenal. It's actually really, really interesting. Oh, there you go. Just look at that headline there. But 92% of the world's population lives with outdoor air quality that fails to meet, was it the World Health Organization guidelines? It's 90% of the world's population. And if they obviously prior to that, they're talking about population growth and the way it's going, especially obviously in China and the US. So the demand for clean energy is just going to get greater and greater and greater. So if we take that now, obviously drilling that down, cobalt's going to be a big part of that into rechargeable batteries, not just not just in obviously cars, but if they are aiming for 1 in 6 cars, you can just imagine with the population growth and just the current statistics in cars, where's that going to lead us? Um, so let's drill it down. So if we can just bear all that in mind, the potential for cobalt and mining, especially outside of that Central Africa region. So let's take a look at our stocks, the ones we've just got eyed up and marked up at the moment. Yeah, but just go through the links up there if you can see that. Let me just get rid of it. Oh no. So the link, I'm guessing you can't see. Now you should be able to see that link there. So just go to CLQ. What's the website there? I'll just get it up. Just 1 second there. Here we go. Clean Tech. So you can see the website there. It's www.cleantech.com. Go to investors under here, ASX announcements, and you'll find, I think it's the third one down, AGM presentation. So just as a bit of light reading, go through that. It's I'll find it really interesting. Let's drill down now to the stocks. Let's take a look at these. Now the first one, obviously CLQ. CLQ, it's obviously with the potential into cobalt. We've got another couple of goodies we'll just look at in a second. We've got 2 more winners to squeeze at. CLQ looks good. If we just draw that up, technical, it's called Clean Tech Holdings Limited. All right, let's get my tool here. Just adjust that. All right. So you can see, obviously, a strong base through that 12.5 to 15. We can see some lower highs we're pushing into that, and we got that break up, that extended leg higher. This is the daily. Let's quickly go back. You can see it's come from highs way back in 2008, and it's spent quite a bit of time through 2002, right through 2011, down at sort of that, I think it was that 5 cent range, 3 cents to 5 cent range. Spent a lot of time there, popped out, and then it's worked its way back down and retested that zone. All right, and then we just taken out those highs from 2012, just last year, and we've contracted lower, spent a bit of time contracting lower, and over the monthly basis, build that higher low. And so on a monthly chart, that's obviously it's kicked up quite hard from now up to 67. But you can see that's really nice price action for there. Probably better looking on the weekly. It's contracted lower, tested towards that 10 cent level, 11 cent level, and then had, whether it's on the back of some news, had a good run up there, which is this leg up here. If we just go back to our drawing tool, so nice support through 12.5 off the higher low, and we've had that run up. Just another double top through here. But it's holding higher lows, which is nice to see. Some higher lows that pushed up, and you've made that triple top through here at 62. And we've had a bit of a sell-off. The thing is, what we've done really, and looks like the early stages, but coming down through 35, we just touched on it, had a bit of a washout, and again, we're holding a slightly higher low, just above 35, or we're holding that level, which is probably a key level back here as well. And then we've just popped out through recent lower high just in here around that 45 zone. So technically that's shown some really good signs. I think it's had a news release. Is there a news release on that today? Yeah, Clinton advised that the company's chairman later show. Okay, so nothing too important on that. Let's go back to the charts. So yeah, what we're expecting now is these based obviously to hold, and we want to see that work its way off support. We've come right back down and wash out that level, pop back up, retest that zone, holding that zone, pushed up through that higher low down there. So we'd like to see it obviously pull back, contract a bit, and just build. We want to see more time than just just pop up from here. We want to see something like this. The price contract a little bit off the highs, but holding higher lows, and then coming to a point where it's just contracting in, and then you get that accelerated pop out. That's what we'd ideally like to see. All right, that pop out, and so you get a nice strong leg up. We can potentially head up to 65 and higher, and just continuing. Just remembering where we come from on the weekly and the monthly. So got a bit of room to move up towards 65, even take out those highs. So a bit of work to do at the moment, but something definitely to keep an eye on. All right. Any questions on just on the chart there and that clean tech holdings? All righty. All right, let's kick it off to the next one. We're looking at CZN. This is obviously a very, it's done a bit today, 1.3 mil, probably a bit higher than that. I think these numbers are a bit off. Had a good announcement today on, this is Corazon Mining Limited. All right, if we go back a bit on that, you can see where it is too, in context of what it's done in the past. It's had some highs right back up at 47.50 cents. I think it listed back then, if that's all of it. Yep, that's all of it. Listed way back in 2005, mid 2005, had a good push up to 55 cents. I think it's around that 20 cent mark. Excuse me, that 27 mark. Made a major lower high, and then generally when you see a longer term lower high, you expect some sort of correction. We've got that. Tried to build a lower high, sorry, a higher low just off. Tried to come off that lows around the 5 cent zone, or say 3 to 5 cents. It's pushed up, made another lower high at 22.5, and then pushed down. For the last since 2014, it's spent a lot of time just hanging around down these 2 to 3 cent zone. 2 cent, I think the lows were, or half a cent actually. So it's spent a lot of time hanging around down here. If we go just, you can see on the weekly, it's starting to perk up off that level, off that 1 cent level. So if we are right on the cobalt, what's the ASIC code on this one? It's CZN. What I might do is I'll just make this a bit smaller so it comes more into the screen. All right, so you can see, you should be able to see the code there, CZN, just up here. All right, but definitely this is one we've got an eye on because it's where it's been in the past. The cobalt story behind it, CZN, and they've just had another announcement today. If we go to initial assays for RC drilling Cobalt Ridge within the Mount Gilmore Cobalt Copper Gold project. So it's getting some really good results from some drilling, some testing. So that's given a bit of a lift today. It has backed off a bit. It did open up a bit high, and there's been a bit of selling into it. But I think if it just continues on with those high lows with the structure we're seeing, it's been building these high lows off that 4 cent mark. We expect that to continue, and we expect to see it might be spend a bit of time, a few days, just building that high low again, a bit like this, retesting somewhere around maybe 2. But I expect to you probably find there be a bit of buying into the close today, just because of that news release, and it's some really good results. Obviously, you'd expect that someone's knowing something. I guess they're not meant to, but that little pop up from 1.5 to 2.7 cents, bit of buying on the open, and we just eased off, bit of profit taken on that. But I expect that again, that high low to build, continue on from the same type of price structure. Just draw that up. So that's our other one. So what do we got here? Just expecting that trend to high. We've got a high, low, high, low. You know, these high lows through here. Potentially could just come down and retest 2, which is pretty much done today. I don't know, got lower 2.1 at the moment. It's bid 2.1. You can see. So if we get, we've had that push up. If we get this type of price action, a bit more contraction, and that's going to lead to the next leg up, and it gives us a chance to buy at a good level. We can easily assess our risk, um, have a bit of a nibble at that one, and see if it goes up. But yeah, good volume today. Good volume coming through. All right, so that's our second one. We've got our eye on there to do with cobalt. That's a good one. They're getting some good results in there. So if we just go with the news flow, go with the charts, what that's telling us as well. I think it's got a lot of good potential. And if it can kick up to where we got potential for it to at least to get up to 7 to 8 cents, that's 300% from roughly from where it is at the moment. If we're saying 2.5 or 2.2 even, just to get up to most recent highs, if it gets a good run up there, okay, it's a good little result. If we can get through that, build it. It's coming off a nice, like I said, many years of basing through here, 14, 15, and potentially most of 16, and just starting to perk up now. If we can get that run up to 5, 6, 7, that'd be nice. All right, let's go on to the last one. We've got BPL is the code. It's called Broken Hill Prospecting. All right, they've had I think it's a share purchase plan or something that just I don't know if it's a 2-for-1. I don't know exactly. Let's just see if I can find out what that news was, or some shares come out of escrow or something. So it's just diluted the share price a bit by the looks of it, which is open down. But still, if you're looking at discounting just this most recent last few days with the extra shares come on board, that price action there is looking really nice. Again, it's still only a 5-cent stock. That's not a big one. That's just something that could have potential. Not a very liquid at the moment. Let's just see if it's got some. Yeah, it looks like when it does go, it gets a bit of volume come in. 3 million shares gone through just there. Good leg up there. Let's look at the monthly. So that's come back off. It's finding good support around that 2.5-cent mark. It's touched down in a few times. Bit of a washout of these recent lows, these prior lows through here, and then it's just popped up off that level. X bonus issue. Okay. So looking at that most recent price action, you can see it's had a good accelerated move up, built some high lows, and then that lower high. So we're expecting a bit of contraction. It's just come down, but we've still seen buyers stepping in around that 7.5-cent mark. Well, at that time, just forgetting about those last few days, they were stepping in just there and looking to push it back up again. And we just took out those that 9-cent level, popped up through there, rejected a bit, come back down and retested that 7.5 zone, and just popped off of there. And then obviously we had that bonus issue. So a few more shares come on. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one just to obviously the next few days. It's getting on the stochastics wise, it is a bit oversold down here. So we do expect some sort of price action to push us back up. But yeah, the story behind that is obviously the cobalt story. CLQ. Sorry, Jordan. So we're looking at the 3 stocks today. CLQ. We've got BPL and CZN. CZN is the one I've just had just a second ago. CZN. All right, that's called Corazon Mining Limited. Okay. Now, does anyone know any more cobalt companies based around Australia? So we're trying to take advantage of the people. Well, obviously that's the story behind cobalt, the rechargeable batteries, especially the applications for it, and we're trying to take advantage of a company with more political certainty in it, based in Australia, um, rather than over in Central Africa, where the majority, well, they say 65% of cobalt comes from Central Africa. So obviously, with the increase in demand, the increase in technology, all that supporting the story behind cobalt, I think these you know, these charts are showing some really good signs. They're coming from a good zone, coming from a good place, um, good support. They've spent a lot of time building that support, especially CZN. That looks nice. They're on BPL, Broken Hill Prospecting. That hasn't been going for quite as long. That's about 2011. But yeah, similar story behind that one as well. Any questions on that, guys? Yeah, but definitely on this story, definitely go to that link that I showed you just before. Uh, it was Clean Tech, that's CLQ. If you go to their website, look up their look at their latest announcements and get that investors presentation and just go through that just for a better overview of what all the applications behind Cobalt. There you go. All right. So that's it for the little presentation on Cobalt and where we see. Now, anyone, if there's anything you want to have a bit of a look at, any stocks you want to go through before we finish up? Let's go back over. That's BPT. That's really kicking along nicely. Seek was one we've just alerted to today. I don't know if all of you, Linus, Clement. So you got that going, Linus? Let's just take a look at that then. LYC. How good. This is one we discussed. I think you popped up the other day, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. No, that's nice. So again, these sort of price structure, I know sometimes it doesn't look too great, but as long as yeah, the story, a lot of the times when they float, they come on, they get that initial euphoria, and that's what we're looking with NTI. That's what we're sort of expecting with this stock here. It's starting to pop up. You can see, you know, there's always going to be some profit taking. You get that pop up, bit of profit taking, but each day it's had that bit of a run up, from that level that we're looking at 34 and a half, bit of a run up. So I think that sort of price structure is common, especially when they float. They come on. You can see that price. I don't know if you can see right across to the left, right across here. They built that base after floating. It's pushed up, and then obviously it's just gone right on, stretched, really stretched on the longer term charts, and then it's had that sell off, and it's built a base through here, through 2015 and 16. That's on a weekly. If we go into the daily, that was yeah, lows of 5 cents I think through here, even lower. So we pushed up off that base, had that big push up to 14 cents. We've come back and we've just been contracting lower, making lower highs all the way through here, right up until we got this low just the end of June. We popped up to 9 cents and we pulled back, and now it looks like we're coming out the other side. So yeah, do like that one. NXT, we'll look at that. So yeah, Clement, I kind of like that one. That's got a potential to hold. If you can hold this level through here, what's that? Low of say 5 cents, give or take that high low through here. It's starting to come. It's just starting to break those lower highs just in here through 6.5. Was it high of 6.6? So looking good. That you want to see some just high lows building and pushing up. Eventually, you get up towards the top. If it spends a bit of time doing it too, the latecomers might just chase that through to 9 cents, and you might be targeting back up to 13 or so thereabouts. But looking good. Okay, sorry, Paul, just reading it there. Who are you actually with there, Paul? All right, we'll look at NXT and I'm guessing you're trading shares, not CFDs at all. NXT, Next DC Limited. Just quickly looking at this one. ComSec, okay. Less than a rounded cent, example 0.06 or 0.07. Okay, so it's not 0.66, 0.65. It's unusual. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Davin's just popped up, said, try asking for the ComSec AOT desk. Dev might know a bit more info than that one. Davin sent you. Throw out the big guns. All right. So we've got NXT. That through here, if you can see through 2015, looks fantastic. Let's just click on the monthly. I'll just go through that for you there, Jordan. NXT. Let's just discard that. Let's just try. Yeah, don't tell them Braden sent you. Who? All right, what do we got here? I'm getting distracted again. All right, so I got some obviously some good support through as $1.50. Can you see that? Let's move that across the tab. That's better. We had that push back down after breaking through these little inside highs here. Push back up, retested that $1.50. So that really just confirms that support zone. Once you start, you edge your way higher, take out some recent highs, off some lower highs, just some lower. You push up and then you come back down all the way back down and retest. So you take back out these high lows, wash them out a bit, wash out a few traders, and then you start lifting. You can see it starting to lift off that $1.50 level, building higher lows again. That's nice price action. So in here, ideally looked really nice through there as a trade, and you can just see when you get it right. If you get on the right side of the price structure, rather than try to get it early and just buying, sitting on the bid, or just jumping in with a limit order. I mean, ideally, I always like to, for confirmation, say just at this point, for example, you're popping up, you're touching highs at 260 thereabouts, like pop, pop, pop. You're making some higher lows just through here. Now, if you're sitting at this stage, you go, I'll just jump in and buy it. It could easily just go bang straight down and take out these lows, and then it's over, testing right back down to $1.50. I mean, if you can sit with it on your books and just sit there holding it, that's all great. But who's to say that it'll come back next week or come back in a couple of years? It could sit a couple of years just consolidating down at the lows. So that's why I like to see, when you see this type of price action, if you can get it early, just below a resistance level, and you get that inside continuation pattern is what we call it. If I can just draw that, so we've got here, you've pushed up, made a low, you've pushed up again, retested, and you're getting this type of price action after retesting, but the pressure's building on the upside. What I'd ideally love to see is a little inside level like here, and then a pop through here. That's what we call the inside continuation. It's just below, so you get a bit of a run up. So if it does go and just retest it and roll over, you may have a chance to lock in a break even, try to trade and try again. Get the desk operation. Okay. All right. Sorry, Paul, just reading your comment there. It's getting to be a bit of fun today. All right, so you can see, I like those patterns there. So you just see the buyers are stepping in early, they're stepping in early. And remember the context of this major support zone of $1.50, you're starting to build. I mean, all this is just building the price structure for a higher low, longer term higher low. You could be front running these highs through here. If you can see what I'm talking about, just through at this high here, you're starting to front run that. A bit of selling's coming in, but it's just starting to run out of steam. Any of the selling, the buyers are starting to get stronger. So I love that kind of price pattern, which is you've got a mild one here. It's pretty much just up at resistance, but just buying on a break there, that's more of a confirmation signal, okay, rather than just, because it could easily, like I said, if it just builds that lower high and rolls over, it could easily, and then wash out. Sellers take control again, wash out the buyers, and then we're on, and the buyers have to step aside. Eventually, they might have to cover, depending on what time frame they're trading, if they can't hold it. But yeah, I like that type of price action. It just gives you confirmation that you're on the right side of the market. It's broken through, and even anyone that's looking to buy, it may be buying late, might buy on a breakout. So you're sort of front running these guys as well that might buy through here on a major break, and that gives you that extra lift, and then you start getting that accelerated move. So when you see, a few days solid move up, and you've got this little minor pullback, it's really nice to see that. It just tends that it's to put you in that sweet spot again that we've described before. Uh, where were we? Sorry, Jordan, I'm getting sidetracked there. But yeah, what we're looking at here, if we just clear, let's go back a bit. Um, that trend is definitely higher. All right, we've had a breakthrough here. We've had a breakthrough these highs. Okay, so around that $293 zone, and we're just coming back into retest now. We're in a good little spot, if you can see, getting a bit stretched, getting a bit oversold down at these levels. But now what we want to see is evidence of a higher low. That's quite a solid move down, and really to give you more confidence, it's more contraction. Had a good strong run up. I'd rather see this type of price action. Lower highs, lower lows, work its way down. We've drawn that out, and even if we just go back 2 steps, even a good little washout and then a sharp recovery, all right, and maybe contraction. You see evidence of buyers stepping in. At the moment, it's just been bang, just it's been pretty much the opposite, just bang straight down, a little pop up, bang straight down again. So it's been quite strong selling. All right, so I want to see that it is coming to a good zone. I feel it looks like it's coming to a good zone. We could head, just this breakout level through 290 or $3. If it starts, buyers might start stepping in here. Even it may pull back to a bit lower just to test this rising support level. But we do want to see this type of price action. Okay, so I say there's a bit more work to be done on this one. All right. What's the code for this one, Frank? We've got NXT. You're just hinting it. I've got to move that chart across, aren't you? Alrighty. Anything else you want to have a quick look at? You want to chuck in a code? Sorry, Jordan. That was the week we were looking at, but it's pretty much the same. You want to see it's still got a key level around the 360 mark, which is holding this last trend down. Just this contraction lower or pullback, a major longer term pullback has been held down around the 360. So I think it's still got a bit of work to do before we get, we can see evidence of buyers stepping in. We see evidence of higher lows building maybe around 310 and 320, bit of contraction, break out of this move down, maybe consolidation, and then off we go. And actually looks like the retracement was a bit less severe. Yeah, had a strong move up. It looks like it's just as equal strong move down. That from 454, where it started to get a bit stretched up there, obviously. Bit of contraction. You can see it really capitulated for a few days through here under 4, down to 340. Did bounce quite strong, which is also a good sign. Just above this key level at say 330, then we sold off through that level. Tried to bounce. You can see that buyers were stepping in just through here. You can see that from say 320 up to 360. Buyers were stepping. They just got a bit weaker than the prior move up, and that selling became strong. It was still just as strong as the prior leg down. So it'll be interesting to see. The actual good part is if we can drill in there. Some buying stepping in. We build a really minor high low, but really we've got to see at least 360 tested. I would like to personally see 360 tested. Building a more major high low than just these little minor ones, because that's just a contraction up, and it could easily just go bang, another leg down through $3. $3, yeah, it could easily. The thing is, if we get exactly what you said, easily get continuation through there. It's only minor. I mean, the thing is, we've had 1 pop up, 2 pop up, 3. We know we're coming down to a key level through here. So the likelihood of, another move like this straight down, probability is getting a bit lower. From up here, that pullback here, and you start to run out of steam here. MAs are crossing what we like to see. MAs crossing down. Um, that is more likely. Obviously, the probability is a bit higher from a further sell-off there, but the probability is getting a bit lower as you come into a major support. And anyone who has been, whether they've been selling or buyers have just been sitting on the sideline waiting, I think they're going to start looking for entries now. But the thing is, I mean, it's like I said before, that's quite a good move down, even if it's 1, 2, 3 legs down. It still has to do a bit of work off here. It's just popped up. It could easily, yeah, like you said, well, if that's the support through here, let's just draw it up. If that's that support, you set a minor level. If it's doing that, and then bang, it's enough energy just to take out the support, just like you said, through here. You could easily do that. I'd rather see it come down. You maybe do that, contract a bit higher, come down, retest, bit of a washout, and then start building again for a more major higher. What does that work? Higher low. All right, and then just look for some sort of entry offer. Especially after it's retested, a bit of a washout. If you get that type of price action, that would be nice. All right. Anything else quickly, guys? RRE. Sorry, Brian. New farm. We're getting them pop up here. Let's take Paul. We actually like. Oh, I do like new farm. We've had that on the go before. Let's have a quick look at that. Go right back to the monthly. Obviously, all right. Let's just go right back here. So we've had big leg up, contracted lower. You can see that, after the nice strong leg up, there's always going to be some sort of, especially that severe selling through here. It's taken out a key level. Could have been a washout there, but then you start rolling over, making that lower high just in here. And you can see another lower high just through here, and it's just really washed out. What we've got there, from there, this is nice, seeing this through here. You've come out of that big sell-off or that contraction lower of this leg. You've come close to retesting that $2 mark. But you pull up short, built potentially a major higher low just at $3. Spent quite a bit of time, if I can remember what that is. So it's a fair few years. So from mid 2010, somewhere around 2015. Yep. So this is mid 2010, 2015. Spent a lot of time working between $6 and $3. So that's really nice. And then you've had high lows build, beautiful price action, push up, pull back. All right, and we've got another leg. We're just in the midst, I'd say, of another leg up, and that could take us, if we can measure this leg up from here, what is that? Say it's 4 to 9, just $5. We take it roughly from 650. That'll take us to 1150, somewhere up here. There could be a still, and that takes us, coincides roughly with these highs at 12. So that could easily, one leg up, a bit of a correction through here. If we go back down to a weekly or a daily, that we could be looking up towards 1150, $12. I mean, not saying it can't go higher. It may fall short. We don't know, but I think the price action's starting to look good. This is what we have traded this before. I think we were trading it around just through $8. Really nice price action. We'll just draw that up. So what we've got is our base through here. Done a fair bit of work. It's popped up off there, come back down, tried to retest. Buyers are stepping in a lot earlier, and the sellers, bless their little hearts, they're trying, selling through here, but buyers are just stepping in a bit stronger, stepping in stronger again, and then you've got that accelerated move high just when the selling gives way and the buyers really get aggressive. We had that push up, and what I really liked prior to our trade on that one on New Farm through here was seeing these, touchdown, took out the highs, retest of 650, new highs, all the way back down to retest 650, but then it started building. This is the price action that's nice. Okay, started holding higher lows, contracting in. I love seeing something that's contracting in, building, holding high lows. Um, origin, yeah, holding high lows, building some lower highs, but in context of this overall move, you can see this is the key. You've got that sort of arcing price action. You can see it's come down, it's starting to hold high lows, taking out the highs. So in context of all that, it's looking nice. Hold high lows, and it broke up. So all this spacing, I've had that one leg up. If we just draw that in, good strong leg up here, and potentially we're going again to way up 1150. That could be round two, or the second leg up. We may be in the midst of that. So if we just look at the daily quickly, yeah, it's starting to show signs in the daily too. I think I can't remember if I've alerted to this just recently, but I think contracting in. If we're starting to see some higher lows building as well, we're just taking out this $8.80 with that spike through a couple of days ago. If we come back in and build some really minor higher lows, I think that's going to be potentially another leg up again. Yeah, looking good. What was the other one? New Farm ORE. Yeah, we've had this one on the watch list for a while, but the only thing, you know, we've had that push up recently. That push up weekly's not too bad. It's just I think we've got a bit more work to do. The way I see it, anyway. Um, on the daily chart, you're contracting higher. The MAs were down. It's really just contracting in. It's pushing up, but it's getting a bit extended, and that's not strong price action we'd like to see. It's not, look, it looks good. I won't lie, it does look pretty good. I do like that sort of price action, but for me, I'd like to see a bit more basing. It really did anything, just gone down, broke out, and started pushing back up again, contracting back up. There's not enough more of a consolidation pattern to build that base, which I like to see. But still, longer term, let's just draw that. Longer term, it's good. Now, how's that for confusion? I'll just draw that up for you, Brian. All right, so this is the price action that's really obviously come off, pushed up, pulled back, nice consolidation through here. Well, should we just draw that second line a bit higher through the highs through here? So yeah, it's gone up, consolidated through here, really nice. Then broken up, nice little push up here, getting towards the highs. Maybe this leg's getting a bit stretched. You fell it all the way over. Beautiful price action, built a higher low, and this is on the monthly chart. Don't forget. Spend a lot of time, a fair few months down around that $1.50, bit of a washout before it started taking out the highs. So you can see that breaking through here, bit of consolidation through here, which is nice. You can see that a couple of months. If we drill into the weekly, I bet you see a really nice setup in there, or even the daily, a nice setup just in that zone. And you've got that accelerated move higher. So you get leg higher. So whether now we're just going to push up and contract a bit more, if we can draw that up here. So that leg up is here. Pull back. Whether we just do a bit more of this, maybe make some new lows. Again, we just want to see. This is what we like to see: some high lows build for a move. Okay, just add a contraction. Does that make sense? Stop being a fence sitter. Who's that? So yeah, ORE looks good. Drill down to the daily. It's just the daily. I think it's got a bit of work to do, but it does. In saying all that, I'll try to get off the fence. All right. So what we've got, I do like that good sell off through here. We've come down, built a base at 3, and we've worked our way off 3, pushed up. Yeah, we've got contraction, so I would just like to see we might be seeing a bit of this action, come back down, build a major high low around 340, and I think that's going to perk our interest. See, so this is a $3 mark through here. We've gone up, potentially roll over, build another high low. So it'd be nice somewhere around 340 or thereabouts, and then get that set up. And I think that's going to take us, good accelerated price action up and through $5. Yeah, I reckon give it to Anne Marie. But I mean, in saying all that, Brett, it does this recent price action. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? To be honest, no one does know. So if you just, I mean, if you're tightening up, and if it does fail, okay, no big deal. But if it just keeps going, don't cut it off. Just let it keep going and see what happens. I mean, potentially it could go up to $5 before it does anything, and then top it could just go straight through. This could be another leg up. All that could just continue. We don't know. Just go boom all the way up. We don't know. But yeah, it is the price section, longer term price section, looking very nice. All right. Anything else? What do we got? ORG. We might quick look at Origin. Whoa, nice pick there, Paul. Actually, really nice pick. Yeah, so we've had, rather than just draw this up, we've had obviously a big push up. A lot of work done through around, let's say it was 12, 11 to 15. A lot of work before it pushed down, made a lower high, major lower high just around that 14 mark. Another sort of minor inside high, lower high, and then we just led us all the way down to 350. Major sell-off. No real support down there, just on the monthly. I mean, that comes lower, but this could be just a longer term high or low. We'll break it down to the weekly, starting to show some good signs. The thing is, you can easily work your way off here, holding some higher lows because it's got a long way. Even if that's just a longer term contraction, getting through $6 could easily take us up to 9 or even 8. So that's a $2. And if you can really minimize your risk, just a dollar risk could easily lead you to a 2-to-1 trade. I mean, that for me is a lot of risk, but just getting up through $6, I think is going to lead. It's going to bring in a bit of buying. You see, it's tried to roll over, made some lower highs, pushed down, and it's just starting to pop back up out the other side. All right, let's just quickly draw that. So I think, remember this is the leg down, and we're trying to bounce off. Whether this is just contraction, you're seeing a bit of action through here, pull back, taking out some of these recent lows, and then popping back up. That's the key. We've seen that higher low through here and pushing back up into this resistance zone through it. Well, that could be a bit better through $6 or thereabouts. So I think that price action is nice. It could easily just pop up. If I just draw that, that's our $6 mark. We're up there. If we get up through there, may come back, build some more higher lows, or even just consolidate around $6 and then go again. But even if that is like we've had that leg down, if we're just contracting this leg down, like I said, we could easily push up to $9, $8, before we start rolling over longer term. It is getting a bit stretched up here by the looks of it. Yeah, so the likelihood of this pushing through without a pullback is getting a bit low. I mean, you could easily do it, then pull back. Stochastic could be in the right spot by then, hold another higher low, and then go. But I think even if it is longer term contraction up of that leg down, there's still a lot of fat in that. Alrighty. Any more questions on any of those guys? All right. If there's nothing else we want to just quickly go over, I think we'll call it a day there. Um, Again, that was nice. That was a nice session. So just keep an eye on those cobalt ones we discussed just through there. I think there's a lot of potential in there. We could be seeing that. Obviously, the story is building, but if that, especially after you read that article, you get a better idea of what. Clement, how long did it take to be profitable? Dare I say a while? I think you go through quite a few stages. Yeah, with your trading journey. I think it starts off by learning the ropes, learning. I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done. I've spent a lot of time in the industry as a broker, about 10 years, and I think looking back on that now, I was profitable for different things, but pure technical trading, when I look back on it now, I was really just winging it, really winging it. But I think there's a few stages. You go through that stage, you think you know what you're doing, then you start learning that you don't really know what you're doing. You get unconfident, then you start really drilling down and learning a bit more, and then you start getting the hang of things. And I think I used to go through a whole lot of technical indicators, and then you start realizing that, yeah, how long is a piece of string? It could be an inch, it could be a couple of yards, who knows? yeah, you go through those different stages, and it's only when you come out the other end, I think you start realizing what it's about. It's not a game of being right all the time. It's a game of being consistent, like you said, um, being consistent in your trades, and then just making sure you're over a sample size of trades, not just one or two. Don't get it down on yourself. I mean, this what we've just described, or different setups we look for. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they look beautiful. You know, two identical charts on different stocks can look exactly the same. One leads to a good run, one leads to nothing. All right. So I think if you just judge yourself on a series, I mean, I used to take samples of 20 trades. All right, just write them down. What I was thinking at the time, my setups was a strong setup, a weak setup, and just take notes. And then you can go back. I think we've touched on this a while ago. You can go back and look at it and go, okay, over those 20 trades, every time I have a good loss, I can see I'm doing the same thing wrong. And I would, my biggest thing was always in the past was going against the flow, going against the trend. Now just sticking with pure and simple the MAs. If they're down, I sell. If they're up, I buy. Obviously off price structure as well. So once I started seeing that my biggest losing streak was always after a series of trying to go against the trend. Um, when you think this has gone too hard, it's gone up too hard, especially on the futures market. It goes up hard. They keep washing you out, washing you out, washing you out. I'll keep selling, selling, selling. And by the time you've done the 3 losing trades in a row, you're getting angry. Um, but that was my biggest problem. So just cutting that out alone helped me a hell of a lot. And then you start seeing, you're seeing other things. Then it sort of clears your mind. If you, and like I was saying before, if you don't look at it from I want to be right, you just go, which way is it going? And look at it sort of from a neutral perspective. It's you start seeing both sides of the market a bit better. Yeah, but in saying all that, it's taken probably the last few years I've been a lot more confident with my trading and confident in taking a loss too, I think. That's the key thing. And I don't want to toot his horn, but Davin in the last few years has helped me out a hell of a lot with my trading. And just maybe obviously pointed out that you don't have to worry about 1 or 2 trades. Just look at it, just go for it. Look at you see a setup, just go for it. Look at you see a setup, go for it. Just consistently, because you're consistently pulling the trigger on the right type of setups, something that you're confident, something you understand. Then your consistency will flow on from there. All right, enough of my rambling, guys. Any more questions? Shoot them through, or you can, if you just got a personal question or something, just put it through to support at tradesetup.com.au. And thank you very much for joining us again. And remember, if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, just get onto the social media, find Trade Setup on LinkedIn or Facebook or even Google Plus. Get on the website or even through YouTube. Just like the channel. That'd be great. Pass it on. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll speak to you again tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.